Oh, my goodness. CM Punk finally gets his main event at WrestleMania. It's happening. It's real. It's real life. Though it won't be for a world championship, he still gets to main event WrestleMania, which is now all of the discussion on social media. Why is CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania, but Io Sky is not main eventing WrestleMania? If I have to explain that one to you, man, maybe you should stop watching professional wrestling. Randy Orton. Randy called his shot. He's already predicting a punt kick to Kevin Owens, and then after that, he wants number 15. Who is it going to be against, though? Is it going to be Cody Rhodes? Or is it going to be John Cena? We got a new ring announcer. Naomi looks great so far as a heel, and Jacob Fatu could be looking at the new United States champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the last Friday night stream of the month of March. Good riddance. I'm going to the venue. I need one cold tonight. And when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown Post Show for March 28th, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be. SmackDown tonight, the O2 Arena, London, United Kingdom. Better than last week. Not by much, but better than last week for Friday Night SmackDown. And the one big selling point was that Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns once again were going to be in the building together, sharing a ring. And this time it was to sign the contract and make it official. Triple threat match for WrestleMania between all three of those men. And honestly, what we got this week, we should have got last week. And what we got tonight, hopefully will continue for the next 3 weeks as we head into WrestleMania. I thought the energy was there. I thought what they did was correct. A lot of what they did last week, which was a nothing burger. And we got a very emotional and memorable segment between all three guys, especially with what we've been given this year going into WrestleMania. Rollins is upset at Reigns for a multitude of reasons. Rollins is also upset at Reigns because he just let CM Punk walk right back in. As he said tonight, you let him enter the garden and he's nothing more than a snake. Roman Reigns is coming off like he's just there to have a good time. He doesn't really take Punk all that seriously. He doesn't take Rollins all that seriously. Roman thinks he's got everything in the bag. And I don't know if that is going to be the case going into WrestleMania. He certainly doesn't have anything in the bag. You got Rollins, who's being fueled by hatred for CM Punk. And obviously Rollins hasn't forgotten what Roman did to the WWE over the last 4 years, where he had to step in and be Cody's shield. So you know he's running on hatred not only for CM Punk, but whatever is left over remaining from last year's WrestleMania. Punk doesn't like Rollins. The hunger of Punk to main event of WrestleMania, his first ever, you know he's going to come out swinging. And Roman Reigns is just slouched in his chair, wanting people to acknowledge him because he is the tribal chief. He's got Azula Fala back. He is slowly regaining all of his power. Which one are you going with at WrestleMania? I'm going with the hungry guy who just finally got his main event for the first time in his career. That's who I'm going with. Rollins and Reigns can figure their shit out after WrestleMania. So we'll talk about all that, what they said, how it went off, the emotional moment between Heyman and Punk, which actually left me wanting to discharge some salty substance from my eyes. It was very cool to see them embrace and make that announcement together. But it doesn't come without any bickering, complaining, and bitching from the IWC, because a lot of people don't seem to understand why this match is main eventing WrestleMania over, say, another triple threat match that WWE is leaning into, which I'm assuming will get announced in the coming weeks between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Oh, how come these guys are main eventing WrestleMania? There's no championship on the line. But here we have these ladies. Why are they not main eventing WrestleMania? I'm sorry, did either one of them win the Royal Rumble? Did Io win the Royal Rumble? Did Rhea Ripley win the Royal Rumble? Did Bianca Belair win the Royal Rumble? I don't know what the bickering and complaining is all about. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. He's not main eventing WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble. She's not main eventing WrestleMania. I don't hear the outrage for them to be main eventing WrestleMania, but you want these three women to be main eventing WrestleMania. The IWC continues to grow more stupid as the weeks go on. I'm not surprised. We'll talk about that. I'll get that off my chest later tonight. Randy Orton. He surprisingly showed up in the open of the show to come out and have a little conversation with Cody Rhodes. Something that I didn't really expect to see on the road to WrestleMania, but it's always a nice surprise. And something that I think a lot of fans are waiting for. That Randy Orton heel turn is going to hit like a motherfucker when it does happen. And it's going to be great. And Cody's not going to expect anything. But Randy Orton basically shooting his shot before Cody even gets to WrestleMania. Randy already thinks that he has Kevin Owens beaten at WrestleMania. And more than likely he does. Punt kick They've been teasing it for weeks. Punt kick to Kevin Owens. Randy Orton's going to go on and challenge for number 15 is what he said. When Cody takes care of John Cena, I am calling my shot for number 15. I am next. Drew McIntyre came out and said, no. No, you're not next. I'm next. So we got a little bit of a situation brewing for who gets what next. We don't know exactly what that will be. We got to figure out if it's going to be Cody Rhodes or John Cena. But we have two of the biggest guns on Friday night already gunning for the WWE Championship. I very much like to see some competition at the top of the card, something that seemingly is missing from Friday Night SmackDown. So we'll talk about what I thought was a very good opening segment, very intriguing. Naomi, a couple of weeks now into her heel turn, and we got a great vignette from Naomi. Absolutely great vignette, man. I'm a big Trinity fan. I think Naomi is very underrated. Some people might not care. I don't really give a shit. Naomi's doing some great work right now. And that vignette that we got tonight, that sit-down promo, that was a very promising look into Naomi's heel turn and heel run on Friday Night SmackDown. We'll talk about that. Jacob Fatu. He wants the United States Championship. I don't mind a Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. But it looks like Braun Strowman is the one thing that's standing in Jacob Fatu's way. So we could realistically get what he kind of alluded to tonight. It's going to be a last man standing match. Whoever the last man standing is going to get that shot at the United States Championship at WrestleMania against Los Angeles Knight. And I actually quite like that. No more multi-person matches, please. Please. We'll talk about that as LA Knight defended the United States Championship against Braun Strowman. And we got a new ring announcer tonight. Mark Nash, I believe his name was. I thought he sounded fucking great. I don't know how you guys liked him. I don't know if you even noticed. But I thought the new ring announcer on Friday Night SmackDown that replaced Lillian Garcia knocked it out of the park tonight, man. Really great voice, great sports presentation, and I'm already loving what they're doing with that aspect on Friday Night SmackDown, man. We'll get into what I thought was a decent show tonight. Not everything was great. There were a couple of down points on this show, but it's Friday Night SmackDown. Nobody should be surprised. But we'll talk in depth and have a good conversation on the biggest talking points of Friday Night SmackDown, because a lot of what happened in that main event segment, a lot of what happened in that opening segment really sets the tone for what is going to happen after WrestleMania. So we will definitely get into all that tonight right here on Off the Script. I appreciate you guys for showing up tonight. We got 2,100 people in here on a Friday night, man. I was contemplating whether or not I should go live earlier or later in the day. And I decided later in the day because the show started at 4 o'clock. I wanted to have dinner. By the time the show was over, it was 7 o'clock. I wanted to eat. I wanted to have a cup of coffee. And then I wanted to sit here and hang out with you guys for the rest of the night. I can't wait for this international tour to be over. I can't wait to get things back to normal, man. Eastern time, 8 o'clock. You guys know when to expect me, man. Enough of this fucking up-in-the-air bullshit. We got one more show, Monday at 3 p.m. Monday Night Raw. Again, live from the O2 in London, United Kingdom. I will probably be live at 6 o'clock or so. And we'll get into it on a Monday night. So, looking forward to that. John Cena and Cody Rhodes under the same roof for a third week in a row, man. We're going to need something a little bit different from John Cena, even though the message I am very much enjoying. We need it to be more about Cody and less of the fans this coming week. We cannot get a third week in a row with John Cena cutting the same promo on the fans. He got everything he needed out. He got everything off his chest. Now it's time to mention more about 17, why it's important to you, and mention the relationship that you and The Rock have and why you sold your soul to the final boss. And maybe get into a promo battle with Cody Rhodes. So we'll talk about that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, man. That'll be the last stream for the month of March, man. It's been a long month of March. Can't wait for it to be over. Start fresh in April. It's going to be great. I thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that thumbs up down below as well, man. We got 2,100 people in here. I'd love to see 1,000 likes on the stream before we call in our night here. We are inching closer to 500 right now. We are halfway there, so make sure you guys get those other 500 likes in. I'd love to see 1,000 likes tonight on the SmackDown Post. Shout out to everybody watching me on Twitch over on the Purple Snake. Shout out to my Twitter family over on X. We are live on both platforms. I appreciate you guys very much, no matter where you are watching me. Tonight we're sponsored by Bear Mattress, once again coming to you on the podcast. Bear Mattress. Make sure you guys click the link at the top of the live stream chat. Use that promo code JDfromNY and save 40% off your new mattress. Plus, I'm going to throw in 2 free additional pillows. It's a great deal, man. So make sure you guys go do that. We'll talk about my friends over at Bear Mattress a little bit later on in the show. Super chats are open, man. If you guys want to support everything that we're doing here, man, we're going to round out what was a tremendous month of March. Get those super chats in. I would really appreciate the support. And we'll hang out at the end of the show with my cold beverage, your cold beverages. I got mine all ready to go. So get those super chats in. It's the best way to support the show. And go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. We were live on Monday. We were live on Tuesday with episode 88 of Tuesday Night Titans. And Wednesday, Jesse and I covered AEW Dynamite. Great stream that was. So go check all that stuff out live on the channel. Right here on Off the Script. I see you, Rage. I see you, Rage. Apparently, you got yourself a Vex Mythoclast, Rage, is what I was told today. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. Jesse's over here bragging about his fucking Fate Bringer. Meanwhile, I got the OG Fate Bringer. I got 30,000 kills with it, man. He's a noob. Yes, we're talking about Destiny 2. I get it. I wish I could talk about Destiny. We're going to talk about SmackDown. Start the show off tonight with a sing-along in the United Kingdom. Sing-along in the United Kingdom. This was definitely America's Got Talent tonight, man. It was a little frustrating, honestly. The superstars in the ring let the UK audience really kind of overtake this segment, and I love a good crowd chant. I love great crowd energy. But sometimes, man, you just gotta reel them in and just get on with the segment. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, because I do genuinely enjoy a great reaction. And I love energy because it's really what's going to take the show to the next level. But in this particular instance, man, I just found myself like, Jesus fucking Christ, just get on with the segment. Tell me what you got to tell me and move on to the next segment. That's how I felt watching this open to Friday Night SmackDown. Crowd sang Cody's song. He's out there first to start the show. They showered him with the Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, chant over and over and over again. I'm like, wrap it up, guys. Wrap it up. Seriously. I get it. Cody probably loves it, man. It makes him feel good, man. It gives him the butterflies in the tummy. I get it. Sometimes you just got to wrap it up, man. This went way too long. Longer than I wanted. He soaked it in. He asked London what they wanted to talk about. Crowd broke into a bunch of different chants at this point. Cody said at WrestleMania he will face John Cena as he goes on to break the record, or at least try to break the record, and win his 17th World Championship. Cody said in a few nights he will stand face-to-face with Cena in this very ring, in this very city, in this same arena. Randy Orton comes on out. And we get yet another sing-along People started singing along to Randy's theme. They showered Randy with love. Orton's in the ring eventually. He grabs a microphone and said he wasn't the sentimental type of guy, but for London, he said, screw it. And the crowd chanted, RKO, RKO. He finally turned his attention after this second sing-along. He turned his attention to Cody Rhodes and asked him to look at the man he is now, along with where he came from. So we got more Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes chants from the United Kingdom. The eyes are rolling in the back of my head. Orton talked about how Cody used to bust his ass harder than anybody. Orton said Cody wasn't treated fairly in a WWE locker room, and because of that, Cody left and changed the business single-handedly when he did leave WWE. Cody looked like he was about to tear up, because this must mean a lot coming from Randy Orton. Crowd once again started singing Cody Rhodes' name for a third time. Orton asked the crowd if they remembered Cody facing Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. Orton noted that Cody started turning the color purple on that night, and it was a color that he's never seen before. He mentioned that he entered that match with a partially torn pectoral muscle. By the time the match was over, it was fully torn. Orton then talked about how Cody finished his story against Roman Reigns. And he said Cody is in charge of his legacy, and it's a privilege to watch it. And he essentially said the wrestling business as a whole is thriving 99.9% only because of Cody Rhodes. Now, that's being very nice. It's not just Cody Rhodes. There are a couple other factors in there that really went into why there's this like mini boom period in the WWE. But it's not all because of Cody Rhodes. Orton put his arm around Cody and said he's very, very proud of him. Vince McMahon leaving WWE had a lot to do with that. Triple H taking over. Vince is gone. CM Punk came back to the WWE. I mean, that's a big fucking deal right there. Right? I mean, those things can really attribute to the business of WWE getting to where it is now. The Netflix deal and them signing a $5 billion deal with Netflix and all the promotion and the hype and the hoopla around that. It's just not Cody Rhodes. We can't all place it in the lap of Cody Rhodes. Rock came back. That's another one. We get Hollywood Rock. He blew up WrestleMania plans. The fans let him have it. He transformed himself into the final boss. Cody was a part of that, but The Rock really took everything to the next level with what he did last year with that final boss character. A lot of people say that if it wasn't for The Rock, WrestleMania season last year wouldn't have been WrestleMania season. There's a lot of other factors. Cody's great. I love Cody. But it's not all because of Cody Rhodes. Orton brought up WrestleMania and said he was going to kick Kevin Owens so hard in the head, he could already feel it. Orton said Cody will beat the shit out of John Cena all up and down the Las Vegas Strip. And he said after all that dust settles, he's coming after his 15th World Championship. Orton says he wouldn't kick Cody in the balls like some coward. And instead he said he will look Cody in the eye and tell him face to face he's coming for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre's music then hits, and he walks out to interrupt both Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre was majorly over in the United Kingdom. He stood in the entranceway and he called Orton and Cody both Nepo babies. And it made him sick to see them standing there in the ring together. Drew asked Orton what he's done to deserve a championship match. Drew told Orton to get to the back of the line. I'm ahead of you. Drew told Cody he should have listened to Drew months ago, but instead, Cody attacked Drew, and from there, he harped on the fact that he warned everybody about John Cena. Drew McIntyre hasn't really told the lie here. Cody did attack him. Can't really trust Drew McIntyre, though. He's got very jealous tendencies. He's very to himself. He will get by any way he can, even though he comes off as a good guy. He's not. Drew brought up Damian Priest and walked into the ring. Crowd gave Drew his own sing-along chant. I don't know what this chant was. I don't remember what they were chanting. They were chanting his name, though. Drew says he'd take the belt from Cody if Cody gets through, and instead, Drew is going to be the WWE champion. Or he wants to be the WWE champion. He wants to take the belt from Cody, though. That's his ultimate goal, to teach Cody a lesson. Drew told Orton that Owens might actually have a point, and Orton's voices know Drew very well. Drew said Orton looks great, absolutely jacked. He said that was on the outside, but on the inside, he knows Orton's back is hanging on by a very thin thread. Drew walks towards Cody, and Cody kicked Drew. Orton went for an RKO, but Drew slid out of the ring to avoid it, and that was the way the segment came to an end. So not much here, but a little foreshadowing of what's to come for potentially after WrestleMania. Now, we don't really know what WWE is going to do with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I could sit here for the entire stream and tell you that John Cena needs to win at WrestleMania and that John Cena should win number 17. I don't know if that's going to happen. I do think that it's a possibility. I do want to see it personally, but it is going to be a very difficult thing to take the belt off of Cody Rhodes, knowing that business has been so tremendous with Cody at the top of the card. I would love if John Cena wins just for the simple pro wrestling fan in me. You got such a hated heel that the fans want to see lose legitimately and have Cody chase or Randy chase. I think that makes for a much better program. When you got two incredibly over baby faces chasing a vehemently hated heel. In this case, it would be John Cena. Now, I don't know where they go. But clearly they are foreshadowing Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes somewhere in 2025. We know it's not going to be babyface versus babyface. We know it's going to be at some point Randy Orton turning heel. We just don't know when. And we don't know how. Drew McIntyre is definitely going to be a WWE champion, maybe before the end of the year. I have predicted that if WWE brings back the King of the Ring, that Drew McIntyre will win the King of the Ring, and he will get his number one contendership for the WWE Championship through winning the King of the Ring. I could absolutely see that being the case. Drew McIntyre versus John Cena at this point does not make any sense because they're both heels. He could sit there and claim that John Cena is this and John Cena is that and everything that he said before the heel turn, but it's not going to work right now. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre is certainly on the plate. We are certainly going to get that. And Randy Orton versus Cody is certainly going to happen as well. But that is only going to happen when Randy Orton turns to the dark side and those voices really kind of start talking to him about doing malicious and violent things once again to someone he ultimately tonight said was his brother. Not much was here, but WWE is certainly just foreshadowing and painting a picture of what's to come after WrestleMania. I enjoyed it. Better do it now than do it later, so you know what to expect. And it also paints a picture of, it doesn't really make the WrestleMania match all that predictable. We don't know. John Cena has always had that vibe about him, that everything he does is very unpredictable. You don't really know. I love the fact that John Cena is going into this thing with Cody. He could certainly lose, and he could certainly win. It's a 50-50 thing. But the way WWE operates, I know they're going to go above and beyond to make that a very special main event, and I do think that there will be some major happenings at the end of WrestleMania this year. What those happenings will be, I don't really know. I would love to see John Cena walk out with number 17. I would love to see John Cena lead the WWE as a heel and ultimately take the WWE Championship into a feud with CM Punk for the summer. That's what I personally am hoping for. We'll talk about Punk a little bit later as he did sign a contract to main event night 1. John Cena as the WWE Champion against CM Punk. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, whatever it may be. I do think that's the money match this summer. In John Cena's last year, roles are reversed. Summer of Punk 25 against John Cena. Sign me up. That's the vision I have. That's the picture I want painted. John Cena winning at WrestleMania. Next in line is CM Punk. After this segment, it was announced that Drew McIntyre will go one-on-one with Randy Orton tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, I was thinking maybe coming out of this, as soon as this segment ended, I thought we were going to get Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes as some sort of superstar tag team match. That did not happen. But instead, we got Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton for the one-on-one match. Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the new WWE Tag Team Champions, defending those titles against Pretty Deadly, the hometown guys here tonight, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. This went 8 minutes. Crowd made this entertaining. Outside that, if we didn't have the crowd tonight, this would have been another dud of a tag team match. It was only good and even passable because Pretty Deadly are the hometown guys, and the United Kingdom crowd gave them a ton of support. Pretty Deadly got a nice ovation. They came out. They got a very long entrance, longer than usual for them. Dawkins and Wilson started the match. Can I say this, by the way, in regards to the Street Profits? Their new theme music is fucking awful. I don't know why we changed their original CFO money theme. I don't know. Why did we get rid of that? It was so easily recognizable. I don't really get how WWE changes them to a little bit more of a grittier attitude and changes their characters just slightly, and by that, they feel like they need new theme music. I don't really get it. What was wrong with their old theme? It's unbelievable to me. Weren't there reports that WWE was hopefully moving on from Def Rebel? You know, WWE, if they really want to show that they're listening to their audience, how many people have violently complained that Def Rebel is fucking awful and that the theme music and the music in WWE, period, is garbage? Yet here we are and it still remains unchanged. What are you doing to rectify what is obviously a fucking problem? We got the ring introductions, by the way. Mark Nash. I don't know where he came from. I think he was a sports announcer for several major leagues like NHL, or I don't know what his background was, but I got to look into it. He sounded great tonight. I seen Hologram in the chat say that it almost kind of sounded like he was announcing contestants for The Price is Right. Yeah, I could see that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Those guys usually have some set of pipes on them. And I thought Mark Nash fucking killed it. I did. Especially coming out of the Samantha Irvin situation. And WWE having a gold mine in her, where she did her job incredibly well. It was obviously a downgrade, no matter how great Lillian Garcia was. And I just attribute it to the Nick Khan way of thinking. You know, Nick Khan is very, very sports-centric. He delivers Joe Tessitore, He's got his background in professional sports. He comes on over to WWE and gives it a very sports presentation-like feel. And then we got this guy, Mark Nash, who comes on over from professional sports as well, and broadcasting and announcing in major stadiums and major leagues across the fucking United States. He comes on in and he kills it here on night one. I thought he had a great voice. I thought he had a great presence. I thought he accentuated certain names and made the moments, the announcements of the Street Profits or LA Knight, United States Champion. I thought he did a great job. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing him more on Friday Night SmackDown. So Dawkins and Wilson started this match for the tag team titles. Prince tagged in. Pretty Deadly took care of Dawkins and Ford. Double team. Wilson and Prince posed for the crowd. Profits rolled to the outside. We go to a commercial break. Show comes back and Elton Prince and Montez were going at it. Dawkins and Wilson tagged in. And Dawkins lifted Wilson for the Profits finish. That big blockbuster neck breaker off the top rope. But Wilson worked out of it and clothesline Dawkins. Prince tagged back in, and Pretty Deadly. They hit a catapult codebreaker spot on Angelo Dawkins for a 2 count. Dawkins came back and slammed Elton Prince. He goes over to tag Montez. Ford comes in, hits a frog splash on Wilson, and Prince followed up with a pin attempt, but Ford kicked out. So there was a spot where he hit the frog splash, and something had happened there. Prince followed up. He followed up with a pin on Montez, and Ford kicked out of the pin from Elton Prince. Dawkins tagged back in, back suplexed Elton Prince, but Wilson broke up the pin attempt and saved the match. So all 4 guys are down. We got UK chanting Pretty Deadly. Each guy was in a corner, and all 4 met in the middle of the ring, knocking each other out. Pretty Deadly hit their finish, which they called Spilt Milk. Hit their finish on Dawkins, and it looked like they might get the pin, but Ford broke up the pin attempt in the very last moment. Dawkins lifted Ford, and the crowd booed. Profits hit the Doomsday Blockbuster off the top rope on Kit Wilson for the 1, 2, 3. That was it. No more after that. It was pretty academic from there. The Pretty Deadly boys are no boy tonight. No tag team championships for Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Street Profits, what they do at WrestleMania, if they have a role at WrestleMania, that remains to be seen. The tag team division on Friday night seems to be losing some steam. I'm not really all that excited about what's going on there. We definitely need to shake things up when it comes to the tag team division on Friday Night SmackDown. Footage from earlier in the day aired, and we saw Zelina Vega talking to Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. This was very overly scripted. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire walked in. They are now calling Chelsea's Secret Service the... What are they calling? What are they? The Secret Hervis? The Secret Hervis is what they're calling it. Chelsea's personal service. The Hervis. I'm still letting that one kind of grow on me. I yelled a big, what? I don't know. Seems like this Secret Service gimmick has very, very short legs and a short shelf life. I don't know if it's going to really go anywhere. Tag team match here was made coming out of this segment between Katana Chance and Kaden Carter against Piper Niven and Alba Fire. You know, it'd be nice to get Katana Chance and Kaden Carter on the fucking television show because when they came out, nobody knew who the fuck they were and how to react. Even in the United Kingdom where they're basically singing along to everybody's theme and chanting along to everybody's name. They came out and got 0 reaction. It's pretty sad. And they are actually a very good tag team together. Believe it or not. WWE announced that at the Hall of Fame this year, they will now be inducting actual matches into the Hall of Fame. Now, WrestleVotes put out a tweet saying that this was always the plan from the get-go when they were constructing this year's Hall of Fame. WWE apparently has very low ticket sales for the Hall of Fame this year. Gee, I wonder why, man. They're charging a fucking arm and a leg and a half a lung to get into most of these places in Las Vegas. Who's got the amount of money possible to attend all these events? You're going to pick and choose where you got to go, because how much money realistically does one individual have to blow on an entire WrestleMania weekend? You're going to blow a full yearly salary attending all these shows. So you're going to pick and choose wisely where you want to go. I'm not going to go to the Hall of Fame. I would rather go to Stand and Deliver. I'm not going to go to the Hall of Fame. I would rather attend the Raw after WrestleMania. I'm not going to go to the Hall of Fame. I want to go to 2 or 3 of the after parties that they're having after WrestleMania. It's ridiculous. WWE is going to be inducting matches, and the first match that they're inducting into the Hall of Fame is the epic battle at WrestleMania 13 between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart. They dubbed this an immortal moment. Hart and Austin will be at the ceremony, and they will be there to accept whatever award that WWE will be handing out for this particular match. I don't know what time the Hall of Fame airs, but I may actually do a live watch-along for the Hall of Fame immediately following Friday Night SmackDown. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know what's going on that week yet. It's very fuzzy right now, but I would like to watch that or something like that with you guys. I think that would be a good time. Make myself an old-fashioned, sit down with you, and just enjoy the Hall of Fame, man. I don't really get to enjoy the Hall of Fame because it normally follows SmackDown, and then I have to go live, talk about SmackDown, and then we go right into the Hall of Fame, and everybody's watching the Hall of Fame. So hopefully they do it a little bit different this year. I don't know exactly what the schedule is going to be and what time it's going to air, where it's going to air, but I'd like to sit down and watch that with you guys. But yes, this WrestleMania 13 match between Austin and Bret, probably my second favorite WrestleMania match of all time behind Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. This is a match that you could go back and watch, this one between Bret and Austin, and it still fits into whatever you're watching today. It is something that will outlast and outlive everybody, man. You watch this, and it would fit like a glove in today's wrestling space. And if you haven't watched it, there are matches that I would recommend to you. This is absolutely in the top 2 or top 3 matches that you should go out and physically just watch with no other distractions around you. Watch this for 30 minutes, and I swear to God, you'll be saying that was one of the best wrestling matches I have ever watched ever. It is something that Bret did and made me love Bret even more than I had already loved Bret before that. This was a whole new Bret. Bret was a fucking technical guy, man. He was the realest professional wrestler at that time in our childhood, man. He could do no wrong. He was basically the personification of professional wrestling, was Bret Hart. But when Austin came into the picture, Bret and everything that Bret did for the company, the way that Bret wanted to grow the WWE, his style, his vibe, how he loved pro wrestling. You got someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin who's coming on in to the WWE and waving the middle finger and fucking drinking beer and just an outlaw rebel. Meanwhile, everybody went and cheered Austin because of how he was and who he was, and then they completely forgot about Bret, which made Bret jealous and made Bret question everything that he did because he didn't understand why they were cheering him and people weren't cheering Bret. And it just transformed Bret into this angry, bitter, leader of the new generation is what they called it. It just completely melted his brain And it took him to the next level. The violence was upped. The anger was upped. Everything Bret did from that point on came with added physicality and just viciousness. Something that we didn't see with Bret in the years before Austin got there. But that match, man, completely... You know, I always said that Bret and The Undertaker at the 1997 SummerSlam was the start of the Attitude Era. And you could go back and watch that match and say it absolutely was. You could even go back further to this match and say this was the start of the Attitude Era. That whole match just had a completely different vibe than everything else on that WrestleMania card. I would not argue with you if you thought that this match was the start of the Attitude Era. The very, very, very Unbelievable match. Unbelievable match. One of the more perfect wrestling matches you could ever watch. Ever. I'm glad that they're doing this, man. I like that they're inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, they need another gimmick to sell people on the Hall of Fame. But the fact that they're going to be honoring those who competed in these matches, now I actually like that a lot. I do. Matches like that should always be honored. Especially during this weekend. The Secret Hervis. Again, I'm still getting used to it. Piper Niven and Alba Fire. That's what they're calling Chelsea Green's Secret Service. The Secret Hervis. Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Chance and Fire began the match. I like Katana Chance and Caden Carter, but again, like I mentioned before, they have not been featured on the show in any meaningful way whatsoever. It's almost as if they are non-existent. I don't know what woke Road Dogg up or Triple H up tonight to want to use them on this night, but they're on the show. And when people wonder why they get no reaction, it's the fact that they haven't even been in anything. I can't even remember when they were actually in something. You know, these two women were tag team champions at one point. You might have forgotten that. Carter tagged in quick after both Katana and Caden had some double team moves. Fire was the receiving one on this offense. Fire got an elbow, tagged in Niven. Carter and Chance on the outside. Niven hit a cannonball on Carter and Katana. Niven then saluted the crowd. Show went to a commercial break. Come back from the commercial. Carter was leveling Fire with some elbows. She then landed a big boot on Alba, followed up by a springboard leg drop for a 2 count. Piper tagged in. Carter realized and pinned Alba, who was the recipient of an accidental senton from Piper, her own partner. Carter moved out of the way. Chance tagged in. Carter dropped Niven and Carter, and Chance hit the keg stand. But Fire broke up the pin attempt. Now, the keg stand is a cool-looking move. You got Caden Carter, who holds Katana Chance up in the air, and she spins her around and drops Katana on their opponent. Every time I see them do it, it just gets completely fucked up. It never lands flush. It never lands the way that it's intended to land. It just looks sloppy. I don't know why. I don't know if Caden has a problem finding where her footing is. I don't know. It just looks bad. This hit, but it did not hit like it was intended to hit. Fire broke up the pin attempt regardless. Carter hits a splash on Fire on the outside. Carter tagged in. Green hopped on the apron to distract the referee. This was the end of the match. Niven hit a Piper driver on Carter, and that was basically it for the win. 1, 2, 3. So Chelsea helps her girls win, distracts the referee. Carter and Chance were kind of taken out of it a little bit, and this allowed Piper Niven to hit the Piper driver on Caden Carter for the 1, 2, 3. After the match was over, all three heels attacked the baby faces here until Zelina Vega ran out for the save. Now, Vega has new theme music. Again, fucking awful. Nobody knows who it is at all. She comes out to the sound of crickets, and she goes and attacks the Secret Hervis and Chelsea Green 3-on-1. Vega went for a destroyer. Fire kicked Vega in the face, broke things up. Zelina left laying there in a 3-on-1 attack, and that's the way the segment came to a close. So not only did Zelina come out to no reaction, Zelina Vega came out and looked like a complete geek trying a 3-on-1 situation against Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven, who Piper Niven alone could squash Zelina Vega like a bug. Yeah, you want me to look at Zelina Vega and A, have sympathy for her as the babyface who got beat up here. B, believe in Zelina Vega that she has a chance to beat Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. C, nobody wants to see Zelina Vega as the United States Champion, nor do they care about her chasing the United States Championship. Maybe you shouldn't have changed her fucking music. Nobody knows who the fuck she is when she comes out. Vega actually got booed. The United Kingdom was cheering more for Chelsea than they were Zelina. Yes, that's going to create the proper perception for me to choose Zelina over Chelsea. It feels very forced. Not exactly what I call quality television. Braun Strowman. He's challenging LA Knight for the United States Championship. 7 minutes. Not much to this match at all. This is not something that I would want to see again. Just going to throw that out there. Don't really care to see it. Braun Strowman has largely been used effectively in his WWE return. Since he came back for a second time, he's largely been used to his strengths. This was not one of his strengths. Working someone like LA Knight is not going to be a good time for me. I'm sorry. Now, the match ended as you would expect, because Jacob Fatu got in there and fucked things up because of what happened last week. So he was looking for his revenge. The two locked up. Strowman got the best of LA Knight. Knight tried to lift Strowman a couple of times. Clearly, this early in the match, that was not going to happen. Strowman ultimately landed a high hip toss. He goes for cover off the hip toss and gets a 2 count. Strowman ran at Knight in the corner, hits the big splash. Strowman found himself on the outside of the ring, and Knight hit 2 sliding drop kicks. Wrecking ball drop kicks through the ropes. Knight then turns into a big boot from Strowman on the outside, and we go into a commercial break. We're back from the break. The two now are in the ring, and LA Knight again tried to lift Braun Strowman, but for a second time, he could not do it. Knight hits a bulldog off the second rope, takes the big man down. Strowman gets back up. He goes for a power slam. LA Knight fought out of it and countered with a back suplex. So the third time is the charm for LA Knight to lift Braun Strowman up. He got him up somewhat, dropped him down. You want to call it a back suplex? By all means, go ahead. LA Knight dropped an elbow on Strowman. He then set up for the BFT, but Strowman pushed Knight away and clotheslined Knight over the top rope out to the floor. Strowman at this point rips his shirt off, and he set up for the Strowman Express. Strowman instead ran into an elbow from Jacob Fatu, and that ended the match in a disqualification. After the match, Fatu hit a Samoan drop on Strowman onto the commentary desk. The action spilled into the ring, and Fatu destroyed Strowman with headbutts. He then went for the hip attack. LA Knight got back in there to help Braun Strowman. He got taken out by a pop-up Samoan drop. Fatu then successfully hit some more hip attacks on Strowman. He then ended the segment by hitting the mighty moonsault twice on Braun Strowman. I don't want to see Braun Strowman mixing it up for the United States Championship again. I was genuinely concerned coming out of last week that they were maybe setting up LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jacob Fatu in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. I don't think that's the right move. I don't. And seeing what happened here with Jacob Fatu after the match, Fatu ran into Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa backstage. Solo starts yelling at Jacob Fatu to lower his tone because Fatu was yelling about what happened last week, that he didn't need any help. They interjected themselves. I don't need anybody to handle my business. I got it on my own. Solo told Fatu to lower his tone when he's speaking to Solo. Fatu told them when it comes to Strowman, he will be the last man standing, and they better get in where they fit in. Fatu says he will bring the United States Championship home to the family, and he'll do it with, as he looks at Tama Tonga, or without them, as he looks at Solo Sikoa. I don't know where they're going with Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu is not going to be associated with Solo Sikoa after WrestleMania. That much I am predicting. I don't know where we go as far as Jacob Fatu. Does he lead his own group? I could see him leading his own group. Absolutely. You know, a lot has been made about Hikuleo and where he's going to fit in. Now, I don't know if he's going to start out in NXT. I don't know if they are planning to bring him to the main roster. Nobody really knows who he is. But I guess if they align him and give him some family tie-in to Solo Sikoa, I think that would be a nice, easy transition for Hikuleo. I could see Tama Tonga and Hikuleo and Solo Sikoa. I could see that being the new threesome on Friday night. I just feel like the bloodline stuff is kind of fizzling out. No matter how you look at it, they can continue to add family members, but I just feel like it's not going to be the same. When Roman's not involved and Roman has nothing to do with them, it doesn't really feel the same. When the Usos are, doing their own thing and they're not involved with the family anymore, it just doesn't feel the same. But the next chapter here, obviously it went from Roman to Roman and Jay, Roman and Solo, and now it's Solo trying to find his space. Trying to find his own spot. Jacob Fatu is also doing the same thing. I could see a group of Solo, Hikuleo, and Tama Tonga. Now, Tangaloa is out. I don't know when he's coming back, but I would assume he's going to join back with his partner, Tama Tonga. So that would be 4. Does Jacob Fatu get his own faction of sorts? Does he get his own faction? I don't know. Rumor was that WWE is going to be signing Zilla Fatu. I don't know how likely that is. I don't know how soon that's going to be. I could see him end up in WWE by year's end, honestly. Kid's great. But WWE also, I don't know if you guys are aware, Jeff Cobb is supposedly internally on WWE's active roster. Now, he is Samoan. His finishing move is Tour of the Islands. Imagine Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb together. Imagine that. Do they put him in this storyline? Do they bring him to television and line him up with Jacob Fatu? It would be Jacob Fatu's group against Solo Sikoa's group. Who would be his third man? I don't know. Who would fit alongside a group of Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb? Who else is Samoan that could fit into that group and likely just take it over the top and to the next level? I have no idea. But I do feel like Jacob Fatu is going to start his own little gang, his own little family, and he's going to really stick it to Solo Sikoa. He's going to be the leader of his own group. Though I could see Jacob Fatu completely go at this on his own, but you know Solo's going to have backup, and Jacob is not going to beat all of them. He's going to need some help on his end. Bronson Reed. Can you imagine? Bronson Reed, Jeff Cobb, and Jacob Fatu as a fucking group? Can you imagine that? Oh my goodness. That may be one of the most devastating groups of recent memory if they get those guys together, man. Oh my God. That sounds something that I'd love to see personally, man. I don't know where Bronson Reed's going to fit in. You would think that Bronson Reed, come, I would say, May, is going to be back in action. I miss Bronson Reed, man. I miss Bronson Reed. He was a fucking huge factor in a lot of things that we saw on Monday Night Raw. He took shit to the next level. I'd love to see that. Now you guys got me excited for something that might not even be a thing, man. Here we are, fantasy booking. Bronson Reed, Jeff Cobb, and Jacob Fatu in a fucking group. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys, we're going to get into the next segment, which is Jackie Redmond and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is prepping for his match against Gunther. Jimmy Uso, more than likely, is going to go to sleep. Gunther's going to put him in the sleeper hold, and Gunther is going to shed blood, which is going to only anger and push Jey Uso to that next level, which is exactly what they need to do. But all in all, before we get there, Gunther's going to put Jimmy Uso to sleep on Monday Night Raw. And speaking of sleep, there's no better segue than my sponsor tonight, Bear Mattress, man. Sign up at bearmattress.com/JDfromNY and use that promo code JDfromNY to get 40% off your Bear Mattress. And get this, when you sign up using my code, you're going to get 2 free pillows on me, man. So if you guys are anticipating Big Jim going to sleep, there's no better way to do that than with a Bear Mattress. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Bear Mattress. Bear Mattress has been helping people sleep better for over 25 years. Known for top-of-the-line comfort and quality at a superior value. Their mission is to improve the health, wellness, and overall quality of life for their customers by providing thoughtfully designed sleep solutions. Head to bearmattress.com/JDfromNY and use my code JDfromNY to get 40% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Bear is a premium fiberglass-free mattress designed to upgrade your sleep quality and is conveniently shipped to your door free within the United States. Bear knows also that everybody has different sleep preferences and positions. To help find the best mattress for you, they made a sleep quiz that will remove all of that guesswork. It's amazing how Bear can ask you these very simple questions and configure what you give them into the best sleep possible. Now, I took the quiz, as you guys see here, and they decided that it would be best if I get the Bear Elite Hybrid Soft. And I'll tell you what, man, Bear got it right. On my old mattress, I would wake up with a stiff back or some stiff shoulder joints. I'm a side sleeper, and they got it right with this because after a week of sleeping on the Bear Elite Hybrid, I didn't really experience any of these problems. And my boy Freddie, as you guys see here, he hasn't experienced any problems either. Other mattress companies use fiberglass as a flame retardant in their products, but Bear does not. They own their own manufacturing facility, which is entirely free from products containing fiberglass. Fiberglass-free mattresses keep you cool and clean. Not only did Bear help me with my stiff back in the mornings, I also sleep very hot during the night. And if you tend to sleep hot, Bear uses Celliant-powered fabric to help you stay cool throughout the night. Bear's mattresses are made with 3 premium foams designed to remove and push away any unwanted body heat, allowing for a cleaner, cooler, and more rejuvenated sleep. And they got the numbers to back it up. They just ran a survey of over 300 of their recent customers where 82% saw an improvement in their sleep quality on their new Bear mattress, which is why 95% of those customers said they would recommend Bear to a friend. I love my Bear mattress, Freddie loves our Bear mattress, and I think you guys would too. If you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head to bearmattress.com/ JDfromNY, and use my promo code JDfromNY to get 40% off your Bear mattress plus 2 free pillows. This is actually higher than what is being offered on site, so check them out while you can. And after you check out, you can support my channel by telling them I sent you in their post-purchase survey. Once again, I want to thank Bear Mattress for sponsoring the podcast right here on Off the Script. There you go, man. Bear Mattress, tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. Jimmy Uso was interviewed by Jackie Redmond backstage. Jackie Redmond referenced Jimmy's slap on Gunther on Raw. Jimmy said Gunther isn't unbeatable, and he will go to Raw and bust Gunther's ass. And then Jay will go to WrestleMania and bust Gunther's ass. Yes, these are words he actually stated tonight on SmackDown. Bust his ass. It's exactly what he's going to do. Sure. Jimmy walked away and ran into The Miz along with Carmelo Hayes. Can you imagine Carmelo Hayes not having a spot on the WrestleMania card, but instead he's standing next to The Miz 3 weeks before WrestleMania? Couldn't be me, brother. Couldn't be me. So Miz and Carmelo Hayes are standing there. Miz said Gunther is the main character and Jimmy and Jay will not beat Gunther. Miz said Jimmy will never know what it means to carry the industry and made a threat to Jimmy if Jimmy were to slap The Miz. So he went to go slap him, fake slapping The Miz. Miz backtracked. And instead he was going to ask Nick Aldis now, Jimmy was going to ask Aldis for a match against The Miz later in the show. All the while, Carmelo Hayes is standing there and he's just trying his best not to laugh after Jimmy Uso fake tried to slap The Miz. And The Miz cowered in fear. Yes, folks. On this Friday Night SmackDown, we got Big Jim versus The Miz. I told you it wasn't all good. I don't know who asked for that, who wants to see it, but here we are. We had a Naomi vignette airing. This was one of the best things about this 3-hour show, this vignette with Naomi. Naomi said she always wants to do the right thing. What is with all these heels feeling that they did the right thing? All the heels in WWE, I did the right thing. Every segment, every week, pull apart brawl. WrestleMania's triple threat match. Like, what are we doing? Though I do believe Naomi did the right thing. I do. Naomi asked Bianca Belair why her attack on Jade Cargill wasn't the right thing. Naomi started crying and questioned how Cargill took Naomi's place. Naomi then asked Belair to ask herself who has always had her back. Naomi said it was her and not Jade. Naomi said what she's learned is you teach people how to treat you, and she's done being pushed to the side and underappreciated. Naomi said moving forward, her message to Cargill is that if she continues to be in Naomi's way, she strongly advises Cargill to proceed with caution. Now, Naomi last week, I mentioned this to the Solid Monster on Tuesday. He had no idea. Naomi last week was dressed up and down in this ring attire, and she had caution tape all around her. Like, her ring attire last week was made of caution tape. And the caution tape goes hand in hand with what she did to Jade Cargill because she slammed Jade Cargill through the front end of that car. Come to find out that she's still wearing the caution tape this week, and she's going to be doing that moving forward because it's a signifying aspect of what she did to Jade Cargill. It's a way for Naomi as this heel character to get under Jade's skin, all while looking the part as well. I love it. I think it's great. And I like this. She said, proceed with caution. I like that a lot. I thought this was fantastic stuff. It was very straight to the point, very short, about a minute and a half, 90 seconds. This was great. I'm very excited to see Naomi's heel turn. I don't know if she's going to have a hand in what Bianca does in the future. I don't know, but a Jade Cargill match at this point, I'm going to go with Naomi getting the first It's not going to end in a one and done. If it happens at WrestleMania, it's not going to be a one and done. I could see Naomi getting some muscle. I could see Naomi getting some backup. I think it's going to be Naomi winning the first match and Jade ultimately winning the war. I don't know if it's going to happen at WrestleMania. The rumor is right now that WWE is set to announce Evolution in the next 3 weeks. The Evolution pay-per-view is coming back to the WWE as a PLE this summer, and I can absolutely see all of this taking place at that show, for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. But this vignette with Naomi was fucking great. And again, I'm going to say it. You know, Cargill, who was in the next segment, she came out and talked to Nick Aldis backstage. Aldis told Cargill Naomi wasn't in the building, and Cargill then ran into Michin and B-Fab, and apparently they are now setting Jade up with some new friends in Michin and B-Fab. Both of these ladies told Jade that what Naomi did to her was trash. B-Fab said Naomi deserves everything that's coming to her. So if Jade is going to have some new friends in Michin and B-Fab, I could absolutely see Naomi get some muscle as well, and she may actually dip into the NXT pool. And what we said, Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, I could see those ladies get called up and be placed with Naomi as her muscle. So we will definitely keep an eye on that. But like I said, that Naomi vignette was a good piece of business. Michin, speaking of Michin, she made her entrance to get ready for her match with Charlotte Flair. Something else that nobody asked for tonight. Naomi popped up out of nowhere and attacked Michin and B-Fab, who were in the ring waiting for Charlotte Flair to make her entrance. Naomi ran B-Fab into the crowd barrier on the outside. Naomi then slammed B-Fab into the announce desk. Jade Cargill's music hit. She runs down and chased Naomi away. Cargill held B-Fab to the back. As she was doing so, Charlotte and her theme music hit so that she made her entrance. And the tease and the foreshadowing here sent a shiver up my body, and not in a good way. Jade Cargill stopped in the aisleway as Charlotte made her entrance, and there was a good 10-second stare down between Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair. It's coming. I don't know when, I don't know where, but it's coming. And I'm not excited about that whatsoever. It's like WWE is already foreshadowing, telling you that Charlotte's going to take care of Tiffy time at WrestleMania, and then you're looking at Jade Cargill and Jade Cargill rather than Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. I don't know who wants to see that at this point in time. Jade Cargill couldn't wrestle herself out of a fucking wet paper bag. And we're going to put her in the ring with Charlotte Flair? Holy shit, man. That is a disaster waiting to happen. But one thing is for certain, man. I'll tell you what. If Charlotte could bring Jade to a respectable 3-star match, Charlotte Flair is as good as Ric Flair thinks she is. One-on-one with Michin here. This went 8 minutes. Michin wrestled, even though she got her ass handed to her by Naomi before the match even started. Charlotte started the match with a big boot. Michin was still reeling from the pre-match attack. Went for a pin. Michin kicked out. We go into a commercial break. The show came back and Michin tried to fire up and get some offense on Charlotte with a tornado DDT. She got enough of it, 2 count. Michin then ran at Charlotte. Charlotte got her boot up. Michin came right back with the boot, missed the cannonball. Charlotte hit a super kick and stepped over Michin. She then went to the top of Michin, cut her off, and landed a power bomb out of the corner into the center of the ring. Sit-out power bomb for a 2 count. Michin hit a Pele kick and a running knee. She goes for another cover, gets a 2. Michin tried to suplex Charlotte, but Charlotte elbowed and chopped her way out of it. Michin came back with a back suplex, followed up with a cannonball in the corner, and set up for Eat Defeat, which she got, and it was too close to the ropes. She made the cover, and Charlotte got a foot on the rope to break the pin attempt. Michin went for a running knee on the outside. Charlotte moved, and Michin kicked the steel steps. Back inside, Charlotte went to work on Michin's leg and quickly locked in the figure eight for the 1, 2, 3. Nice tap out there. Goodbye. And Charlotte Flair wins. And that was basically it. No Tiffy time. No post-match attack. No getting revenge on Charlotte just burying her on a promo last week. Nothing. Charlotte gets a victory over Michin here on Friday Night SmackDown to pad her standing in the women's division. Speaking of Tiffany Stratton, Jackie Redmond interviewed Tiffany backstage and brought up how hard Charlotte came at her last week in the sit-down interview. Tiffany Stratton said Charlotte is still so insecure that she wouldn't even let a rookie get a word in last week. Now, why is Tiffany Stratton out here claiming that she is a rookie? The woman had how many years in NXT? 2 years? First full year on the main roster, won the Women's Championship, and you are labeling yourself and downgrading yourself as a rookie. I don't really get it. Now, I guess you could look at her as a rookie. I don't look at her as a rookie. I don't think you guys look at her as a rookie either. Is Braun Breaker going out on Monday night claiming to everybody that he's a fucking rookie? Just the way that you portray yourself. It's the way you present yourself. Why would you say that about yourself? You are the women's world champion. You are not a fucking rookie. You're not. I don't know who's writing this shit. I don't know who is handing this off to Tiffany Stratton, but she sounds fucking stupid. Stupid. Do not label yourself as a rookie. It's terrible wording. You can look at her as a rookie. You could think she's a rookie, but why does she need to reimburse to everybody that she's a rookie? I don't know. You're the champion. You're the women's fucking champion, and you're out here calling yourself a rookie to me. Why would you look at her as a serious threat? It's the way you word shit. Tiffany said that Charlotte has more to lose at WrestleMania than Tiffany does. Tiffany said if she loses at WrestleMania, she loses to Charlotte Flair, a legend. Yes, the rookie. The rookie calling her challenger a legend. It's great. But if Charlotte loses, and get this, she put herself down even more so, even though she was pretending like, or sarcastically saying these things because Charlotte thinks these things about her. Why would you say this? There was no other way that you could script a rebuttal for Tiffany Stratton coming out of last week. This is what you went with. But if Charlotte loses, she loses to a little girl, a rookie, a dumb blonde who flips and dives. Tiffany said she'll make damn sure that what stays in Vegas is Charlotte's massive ego. Tiffany said she will walk out of Vegas as the WWE Women's World Champion. I did not like this at all. I will say the only thing I liked about this is the fact that Tiffany Stratton kind of dropped the dumb bimbo type, Los Angeles Valley girl type vibe that she was doing with her promos. I feel like she's better off just staying straightforward and talking like a normal human being without all the bullshit. And at the end of the promo, she said, "Toodles, you could keep that. That's fine. But I want you to come off like a human being, honestly, without all the added bullshit." She said, "Undeserving, delusional, unoriginal, backflip doing, blonde hair having little girl." So you reiterated all these things that Charlotte Flair said about you to try and put down what Charlotte was saying, but then you only brought all those things up again for the audience to hear. Because that's exactly what the audience is going to think of you. A rookie who are all these things. Tiffany's not looking good in this feud. She's not looking good. She's not sounding good. This has been completely one-sided. I don't know who made the decision here to put Charlotte against Tiffany Stratton. Maybe it's Charlotte's idea. I don't know. Is Charlotte really for the division? I don't know. Is it in Charlotte's contract that she's got to be above and beyond everybody that she's in the ring with? Tiffany's got nothing here outside of... Well, where were they? She jumped off the fucking stage, off the tunnels, onto a bunch of security guys a couple weeks ago. That's the only thing that she's done, even remotely positive in this entire build. I am not looking forward to this match. You know, I know a lot of people have predicted this match well ahead of WrestleMania. I am not looking forward to this match at all. At all. Because I know what the outcome's going to be. There's no way that Charlotte Flair is winning that, or Tiffany, rather, is winning that match. There's no way. No way. Randy Orton. He went one-on-one with Drew McIntyre. This was more so about the ending than it actually being a match. This went 8 minutes. It didn't go long at all. This is definitely a pay-per-view match or a PLE match right here on SmackDown. But it just felt like it was a way to push whatever happened in the open with McIntyre claiming he's ahead of Randy Orton. And then Kevin Owens obviously still poking his nose into Randy Orton's business, which Drew McIntyre took advantage of. So the bell rings. They both lock up. Drew gets the best of Randy Orton early on. Orton came back with some punches in the corner. Orton then threw Drew into the ring post. We go to the outside, and like clockwork, Randy Orton slams Drew McIntyre on top of the commentary table. And then we go into a commercial break. That's his favorite spot. So, after the commercial break, Drew had control, chopping Randy Orton. Drew threw Orton into the corner, and Orton came out with a clothesline. Orton followed that up with a snap power slam. Drew on the apron. Orton hits his draping DDT. He then gets the crowd into it, and he's calling for the RKO. That did not happen because Orton, and I like the fact that Kevin Owens came out to no theme music. Randy Orton just felt the negative energy walk into the arena. He was distracted by the mere presence of Kevin Owens. Owens came out to no theme music. He walked in the aisleway. He stopped. He stood there. He looked at Randy. Orton is fixated on Kevin Owens. And meanwhile, Drew McIntyre, he turned his back on Drew McIntyre, which is not really very Randy Orton-like. He did look like a geek, but that's how much hatred he has for Kevin Owens. Turns around, McIntyre levels him with a Claymore kick, knock Randy Orton out. Drew McIntyre goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3. And Drew McIntyre pins Randy Orton clean. Not a hand was laid on Randy Orton. He beat himself because he was fixated on Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre clearly was going to take advantage of that. After the match, Owens put Orton on the commentary desk and set up for a pile driver. He was about to spike pile drive him through the announce table. Orton fought out of it. Orton set up for the punt kick on Owens, and Owens quickly jumped the barricade and ran into the crowd to run away. Security quickly jumped on top of Orton, stopping him from chasing Owens into the crowd. That was it. Not really much of a match. It's a definite teaser for what could be later on in the year. I could see this absolutely being a WWE Championship match at some point. But Randy Orton, him losing does nothing. Him losing to Drew McIntyre does nothing. That's a big victory for Drew McIntyre. He's got a solid W going into his match with Damian Priest. It continues to build for Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Randy Orton's going to get his WrestleMania win. He's going to punt kick Kevin Owens. He's already made his call for numbers 15 against Cody Rhodes or John Cena. I don't mind him losing it all. This was an excellent way to forward multiple things by using Randy Orton here in defeat by Drew McIntyre. I enjoyed that. Rey Fenix. He's coming to Friday Night SmackDown. He was mentioned by name. The vignettes that we've been seeing are indeed for Rey Fenix. Next week, he debuts. Joe Tess and Wade Barrett said, Rey Fenix is coming to SmackDown. One of the best luchadors in the world. The lucha scene in WWE is heating up. And he's the brother of Penta, the acclaimed Lucha Brothers. By name. Or in WWE. It's great. I'm surprised they actually kept the name Rey Fenix. They call Penta just Penta. Figured they just call him Phoenix. Rey Fenix. That's his name. Next week, he debuts. Very much looking forward to that. In Chicago. In Chicago. Jimmy Uso. He went one-on-one with The Miz. If you guys think I'm going to give you a spot for spot here in a Miz match, I'm not going to do that. We'll just pick it up towards the end. This is another very much a down point in the show. We'll pick it up after the commercial. Jimmy clothesline Miz. Jimmy followed that up with the Samoan drop. Miz came back with a short arm clothesline. I don't know who wants to watch a Miz match in 2025. I don't know. You people are weird. Very weird. Miz set up for his finish. Jimmy rolled Miz up for a 2 count. Miz came back with a kneeling DDT. Miz hits his Miz kicks. Miz landed a running boot. Got a near fall out of it. He connected with a splash to the Miz in the corner. He then ran into a super kick. Jimmy followed that up with an Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. Big Jim gets the victory. After the match, Big Jim took a commentary headset. Says he's coming for Gunther's ass on Monday. I don't know what it is with busting ass on Gunther. Jimmy said Gunther will salute Big Jim by the end of the night. Negative. If Jimmy Uso isn't left in a puddle of his own piss and blood, I will be very disappointed. Gunther is going to murder Jimmy Uso on Raw. As it should. Drew McIntyre's backstage. He ran into a acclaimed singer from the United Kingdom, Lewis Capaldi. Don't know who he is, nor do I care. They exchanged hellos. Jackie Redmond showed up and congratulated Drew on his big win over Randy Orton. Drew says he didn't care about other people's business, and when nobody gets involved with his business, he wins. Kevin Owens interfered in his business. He didn't lay a hand on anybody, but he interfered. But it's not exactly the way Drew McIntyre thinks it happened. McIntyre says he's going out on the town. He's going out to the pub. Come drink. Everybody's invited. Hate along with Drew McIntyre. I would take him up on that offer. So he opened the door to leave the building to go to the pub. As soon as he opens the door, Damian Priest is standing on the opposite side of the door. He's waiting there. They brawled. They had a backstage brawl here. There was a convertible that was conveniently parked in the backstage area. They're slamming each other on this car. Some geek gets out and screams, "Hey, this is my car." He gets taken out by Damian Priest. He gets powerbombed through a fucking table. Both of these guys continue to fight on top of the car. Everything here ended after Priest gave Drew McIntyre a south of heaven chokeslam on the hood of the car, completely shattering the windshield. And I'm assuming that this was real glass that Damian Priest put Drew McIntyre through. McIntyre rolls over on his side, yelling at Jamie Noble, "I got glass in my eye." It looked brutal. It looked like a very brutal spot. Here's my pitch for WrestleMania, man. You know, Goldust, and Roddy Piper, they had a Hollywood backlot brawl. I don't want WWE to recreate that exactly, but I would love to see a Las Vegas backlot brawl between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Street fight rules, no DQ rules, something along those lines. I feel like it would up the ante, up the intensity a little bit for Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. A one-on-one match is not going to be as exciting. I feel like if they take it to the next level over the next 3 weeks and give me a reason that this stipulation matters, I think it'll be much better off for the match in the end. So we'll see what happens, but this was probably the most physical and the most violent that they've gotten so far in their build. Clearly, it's leading to a match at WrestleMania. We'll see if it does end up being a street fight or a no DQ type of situation between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I do think that would probably be for the best, because I do think that right now, if you do a one-on-one match with no stipulation, it may actually take away from these two and what they do. So we'll see what happens going into WrestleMania. CM Punk. He's being escorted into the building with security guards, and he walks right by Drew McIntyre, who is being helped off the hood of this car as he was slammed through real glass. He stops to look, he smiles and smirks, and then walks away. Love it. Main event segment. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. This was by far the best thing on the entire show. Contract signing for their triple threat match at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is out first. Paul Heyman is with Roman Reigns. Security with Heyman and Reigns. Show went to a commercial break as Reigns made his way to the ring. Show comes back, crowd is chanting OTC, OTC. Heyman gave Reigns a microphone, and Reigns started to smirk because they started to sing Roman Reigns' name. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. You know, these international crowds love to sing everybody's name. Reigns smiled, and he screamed, "London, acknowledge me." Crowd obviously acknowledged him. Another OTC chant broke out. Reigns said the crowd sing-along was beautiful. The way that they sang to their tribal chief, that inspired the crowd to keep singing, Roman Reigns. They just kept going. Even Heyman joined in singing. Reigns called himself the biggest star on the planet. Reigns says he was there for two reasons. One, to be acknowledged, obviously. And two, to sign this contract. Reigns then signed the contract, and he said he checked his boxes. Reigns tried to speak some more, and Seth Rollins comes out. Another sing-along. Everybody starts singing Seth Rollins' theme. They even sang his theme when the music stopped. So after this, and after all the sing-alongs, Rollins grabbed the microphone, and comically, he put it by Paul Heyman's mouth, and he tried to get Heyman to sing along to Rollins' theme music, because Heyman before was singing along to everybody chanting Roman's name. So Rollins comically wanted Heyman to do that for him. He did it for Reigns, why not do it for me? Rollins laughed into the microphone and said the crowd had beautiful singing voices. Heyman looked pissed. Rollins noted how he and Roman have a lot of history in this building, the O2 Arena. Rollins said back then they were ready to remake this company in their own image. Rollins says he's been a little bit, there's been a little bit of love. There's been a whole lot of hate between him and Roman Reigns. But he dares say that he and Reigns accomplished their mission. fans started to chant CM Punk at Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Reigns says, listen, we died a long time ago. In fact, we did not accomplish our mission. Reigns says he had done all the work and made this place what it is today. Reigns says he took them to where they are today as a company. He said he was the one who made them desirable to Netflix. Rollins says it's Reigns' mindset that makes Rollins always want to screw him. Pause. You get where Rollins is going. Reigns' attitude is what makes Rollins so angry. Rollins said Reigns lets the biggest snake in the world, CM Punk, into the garden. Rollins said Reigns wouldn't let Rollins finish Punk at Madison Square Garden inside that steel cage, and now I have to clean up your mess again. Rollins then signed the contract, and out comes CM Punk. So we got a third sing-along here, because everybody's obviously going to sing Cult of Personality. Everybody sings CM Punk's theme. He comes on out. He's chewing bubble gum. He's got a microphone in his hand. He stood on the top rope when all the music finally died down and all the sing-along stopped. He's chewing bubble gum and like Roddy Piper, I have come here to chew bubble gum and sign a contract, but I'm all out of bubble gum. Miss Roddy Piper, one of the greatest ever. Punk sat down. It was Punk. Roman seated at the head of the table, obviously. And Punk was a cross from Rollins. Punk sat down, immediately started going through the contract. He's flipping pages in this contract. He's reading the contract. He says he was going to read the contract before he actually put pen to paper. Reigns comically said to Punk, do you need a highlighter? What are you looking at? Reigns then continues to push Punk to sign it. Go to page 4, Article 5. Sign it. Reigns told Heyman to smarten this guy up. Why don't you go talk to your boy over here? Have him sign the fucking contract. Heyman walked over to Punk, kneeled down next to CM Punk, and he told Punk, I know what you're looking for. What you're looking for is in the contract. You are going to close the show at WrestleMania. Heyman said Punk will finally get to live his dream of all dreams. And CM Punk will be a WrestleMania main eventer. Punk's eyes started to get teary-eyed. You physically saw that happening live on television. Heyman's eyes started to get watery-eyed. And then my eyes started to get watery-eyed because I love Paul Heyman. I love CM Punk. And we all know how important that moment, this match, to main event WrestleMania is to Phil Brooks. That was a great fucking moment. Absolutely great. If you are a fan of CM Punk, you are fucking happy for him that he finally got that. I'll get back to that in a second. Reigns said one man's dream is another man's check. Now, is this the favor? We all started to speculate as a community. Is this the favor that Punk asked of Heyman? Does Heyman have the power to get Punk a main event at WrestleMania? By all accounts, he went over to Punk and said, whatever you're looking for is in there. So we are to think that this is the favor. He cashed in his favor. He got a main event. WrestleMania Night 1, Triple Threat will close the show. So Rollins all of a sudden starts flipping out and said Punk doesn't deserve it. He doesn't belong in the main events. Rollins said main eventing WrestleMania is sacred and it means more to him than anything. Rollins said Punk doesn't deserve it and it's Reigns and Paul Heyman's fault. He starts fucking losing his shit. CM Punk chants start breaking out. Everybody's going crazy. Punk wiping the tears from his eyes. Punk then takes the microphone after Rollins is flipping out. He's thanking London. He's thanking Chicago. He's thanking Louisville, Kentucky. He thanks the fans who chanted his name for 10 long years. Reigns cut Punk off and said Punk needed to thank his tribal chief. Roman Reigns thinks that Punk should thank him for main eventing WrestleMania. So the credits rolled, and Reigns said Punk needed to thank Reigns the right way. Punk got down on one knee and said, "Thank you, my tribal chief. Thank you for allowing a kid from Chicago to be graced by your presence. It is because of you I will see you in the main event of WrestleMania." Crowd started to chant, "You deserve it. You deserve it." Punk thanked Reigns again, and then he looked over at Paul Heyman. And the show went off the air with this one line. And I love this. I love this. He thanked Reigns. He looks over at Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, before, as you guys know, kneeled down in front of CM Punk and said, "Whatever you're looking for is in there. You're going to close the show at WrestleMania." After all this, he looked over at Paul Heyman and said, "That's not the favor that I am owed." Show went off the air, and that's the way the segment came to a close. What is the favor? What is the favor? I don't even want to speculate. I don't. I thought the favor was basically what we got. Now, it was one of two things. It was one of two things. It's not going to be for a number one contendership. I know that sounds great. I know that fits the bill. It gives the match some highly contested stakes. I get it. I'd love to see it. Number one contendership for the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, whichever is up for grabs. If Roman wins, he gets a shot at Cody. If Punk and Rollins wins, they get a shot at Gunther or whoever the World Heavyweight Champion is on Monday night, being that they're both Raw superstars. I don't think it's that, though. I said one of two things. This is for weeks. I said this. One of two things. One of the things we got tonight, and that is Paul Heyman making this a main event match for WrestleMania, because that is what Punk wanted. If by some chance he does not get into the main event of WrestleMania via the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, he wants a main event match. Paul Heyman made that happen. That was one of the logical guesses. Punk ended the show saying to Heyman, "This is not the favor I'm owed." I think the favor is going to be Punk requesting Heyman to leave Reigns and become his wise man. Punk has made that a talking point in the sit down with Reigns before War Games, saying he's my wise man before he was your wise man. And Roman had a problem with that, and CM Punk told Roman, "Yeah, we'll see about that." Then we get the embrace at the end of War Games, where they embraced as Punk came out of the cage. And Roman Reigns had a problem with that. And we get that same thing again inside the steel cage at Madison Square Garden, where Heyman was in the cage with CM Punk, consoling him, which angered Reigns. And that show went off the air with Reigns spearing CM Punk. And Paul Heyman was there, typical Heyman, with his hands on his head, not knowing what he's watching. The favor is going to be, in my prediction, I think it's going to be Punk asking Heyman to leave Roman and become his wise man. Whether it's for just WrestleMania or just in general. That's the favor. So the one favor that we said could be is in the contract. The other favor, which CM Punk is saying is the favor, I do think that is the favor. Now, I see a lot of discourse online about why this match is main eventing WrestleMania. There's nothing on the line, says the IWC incels. Why isn't Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair main eventing for the Women's World Championship? Their story is better. Their match has a championship on the line. This one does not. I don't really understand why people are making this into a bigger deal than it is. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. You don't see him main eventing WrestleMania. The main events for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 are set. It's Cody and Cena Night 2. And now we got Punk, Reigns, and Rollins Night 1. Jey Uso's not main eventing WrestleMania. Jey Uso and Gunther more than likely will open one of those shows. Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble. You don't see her main eventing WrestleMania. What's the big deal? Why does Io, Rhea, and Bianca all of a sudden now deserve a WrestleMania main event? There's a list of people along the WWE timeline that have not main evented WrestleMania, that have won the Royal Rumble. Shinsuke Nakamura, Becky Lynch, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Adam Copeland, Alberto Del Rio, Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Meanwhile, I have to hear from fucking fake, outraged engagement accounts that Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky deserve to main event WrestleMania. I'm sorry, folks. Those three women are not CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, folks. That story with the ladies is not on the same planet as the story and the history that is between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. The more you realize that WWE uses buzzwords and main event, everything is the fucking main event. WrestleMania itself is the main event. This has happened more than once over the years for WWE. Why do you think that they are all of a sudden going to change the way that they do things now? Everything is the main event. It gives the match to them more buzz. It makes it feel bigger than it really is. Oh, the main event of WrestleMania. Meanwhile, Jey and Gunther are not the main event of WrestleMania. The quicker you realize that WWE does it to enhance the overall match itself and make it feel bigger than it really is, the quicker you will learn that WWE has done this for years and years and years and years for that very reason. Who are you going to have main event your biggest show of the year? A middle-of-the-road storyline triple threat match for the Women's Championship? Or three of the biggest names in the fucking sport? You choose. Stop bitching. There's no way you're putting that match in the main event over CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Fake outrage on social media, man. Social media has been absolutely the worst it's ever been in the last 30 days. The worst it's ever been. And I really fucking am losing my patience with the engagement farmers and the people that say shit just for the fact that they can get reaction and fucking whatever pennies Elon's paying out. Started on Monday with the fucking Gulf of America thing. Chad Gable and the El Grande Americano thing is racist and all this other nonsense. Now we got to hear this shit. It is WrestleMania. Your main event consists of the biggest stars in the history of the company. That's not Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky. I'm sorry. You want to cry? Take it up with Paul Levesque. He's the one who's booking the fucking show. This was a great segment. The segment with CM Punk, the part with CM Punk and Paul Heyman was fantastic. Very emotional. Something as a fan that I felt because we've been wanting to see that for him for the last 11 years. CM Punk is going to win his first main event at WrestleMania. CM Punk is going to win. CM Punk is going to work his way to a world championship. CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship should be the goal. That should be the goal. Whether it's at Money in the Bank or culminates at SummerSlam. That should be the goal. I think Rollins and Reigns continue their feud going into Backlash. I think CM Punk closes this chapter with Rollins for now, and I do think that Punk and Reigns eventually cross paths at the end of the year. I thought SmackDown was okay. Still the worst show on television right now, next to Dynamite. SmackDown right now as the B show to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, even in its lackluster phase. These shows aren't great week to week either. Still blows away Friday Night SmackDown. But I thought this closing segment with Rollins, Reigns, and Punk was fantastic. And I thought the open with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes was good stuff, foreshadowing what's to come, possibly after WrestleMania. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We're going to get into the Super Chats right now and hang out. Follow me on social media, JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. I would appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up, man. We are looking at 845 likes. Can we get another 155 likes for 1,000 likes tonight? Let's try and do that. Super Chats are open and will remain open. Get them on in. It's the best way to support the show. And please go check out my sponsor for tonight's show. Once again, proud to have Bear Mattress as the sponsor for tonight's show. BearMattress.com/JDfromNY. Use that promo code JDfromNY for 40% off and 2 free pillows with your purchase, man. Make sure you guys go check them out. And get a good night's sleep, will you? Let's get into these Super Chats. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. It's Android Friday, JD. OTS, let's go. Yeah, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, Michael, as always, brother. Cody Snyder with 35 months. Punk goddamn deserves it, man. He does. He does. Thank you, Cody, with 35 months. Michelle with a 2. Did we get a hint of Cody Orton after WrestleMania? We did. We did. We got the foreshadowing tonight for sure. Joey Taylor with a 5. When Randy Orton finally hits the punt on KO, the roof, wherever they are going to be, when the punt happens, the fans will go crazy. They will. They will. Lauren with a 35 months. Orton will turn heel sooner than later. Believe he'll feud with Cena at some point later this year for the title. Cody will become his target soon. Michelle with a 5. Wow, a contract signing that I enjoyed. Poor Seth looked like he was blowing a fuse. With Punk Drew still tied together, maybe the favor involves Drew. I don't know. Does Heyman turn on Roman? I don't know. I do think that is the favor. I think Heyman is going to be asked to be Punk's wise man again. Even though he doesn't need him, I think it's going to happen. Walker Stubbs with a $9.99. What if Heyman aligns himself with Rollins at Mania? Just a thought I was thinking. This is my first Super Chat. JD, have a good rest of the night. Thank you, Walker, and welcome, brother. Lauren with a $2 Super Chat. Paul Heyman is definitely betraying Roman at Mania. I think betraying is a little bit too harsh of a word. That would mean, to me, when you use the word betray, it means Heyman turning heel and Punk turning heel. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Punk is going to ask him to be his wise man. I don't know. As long as it doesn't fuck with the way Punk is, I'm fine with it. And even if he does ask, that doesn't mean that Heyman is going to stand in Punk's corner. We don't know yet. Cena Orton were the first ones advertised for Backlash. They were. Maybe Heyman turns on both Reigns and Punk. Who knows? But why would Heyman align with Rollins, though? That doesn't even make any sense. Braulio Martinez with a $20 Super Chat. JD, my man, listen. I'm planning on starting my own platform because if I learn something from you, it is to go on and be yourself, no matter what the sickos or the e-drones have to say. Do you have any advice? Thank you. OTS for life. Braulio, I don't really have any advice, man. Just be yourself and stay the fuck off social media. I wish I could listen to my own words. I use social media to fuel some of what I do here on the show, but the less you spend on social media, the better, man. Lauren with a 2. Monday is John Cena's last appearance until Mania. Well, we don't really know that for sure. WWE could be holding off on some of those appearances just as a way to surprise everybody. I hope that is the case. If he is not going to show up after Monday until WrestleMania, that's fucking lame. That is very lame. Ballin', MGM Ballin' with a $4.99. Sydney Sweeney called off her wedding. Delusion settles in. Now is our time, boys. Maybe the hottest female on the fucking planet, honestly. She's gorgeous. Chris Lloyd with a 5. I have Io retaining at Mania, then doing Io versus Rhea either at Backlash or Evolution. Maybe they save Rhea versus Bianca for SummerSlam. I could see Rhea versus Bianca at SummerSlam. I think Io is going to retain. I do. Jamel Turney with a $4.99. What if Def Rebel made new music for CM Punk? How shitty would that be? That would be awful. That would be fucking terrible. I don't even want to think about what it would be. Ali. $5 Super Chat. Hey, JD, that song, Give It All by Stryker is a banger. Thank you for that song. I definitely like it. Well, I'm glad you like it, man. It's a great band. Raging Girl Gamer with a $50 Super Chat. Thank you, Rage. It's been a while since I donated, but I hit 90 days sober. Also, Charlotte for the win. She needs to continue her reign of terror. Rage, thank you for the 50. Always love having Rage in the chat. I am very happy to hear that you are 90 days sober, Rage. That is beautiful news. Beautiful news. And I know you love Charlotte. I think you love Charlotte more because I hate Charlotte. But I am letting realization set in. Charlotte is going to walk out of WrestleMania with the Women's Championship. Ali with a 5. Also, I went to see that movie, A Working Man by Jason Statham. And let me tell you, that movie was really good. I don't go to the movies, brother. I don't go to the movies, man. I pick and choose very carefully what I go spend my money on to sit in a movie theater. Rap snitches with a 199. JD, thanks for holding it down and being yourself. I don't know how else to be. Snitches. If I'm not myself, what the fuck are we doing here? Timmy No Turner with a 199. WWE treats Cody like a Make-A-Wish kid. Forced. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think Cody's forced. Jamel Turney with a 499. I wish Randy would turn heel. I hate them having him being a babyface. Jamel, you got to be patient, bro. It's not the first time Randy's been babyface, bro. Lauren with a 2. Ric Flair rumored to be at Mania. Who wants that? Nobody. I don't want to see him on my TV ever again. Phil with a 499. CM Punk's favorite is for Heyman to do what he thought he'd never do. Turn his back on the tribal chief. Heyman ends up with CM Punk in the end. Yeah, but does that make Punk a heel, though? Does that make Punk a heel? Or are people going to actually cheer that? That's going to be very interesting to watch. Timmy No Turner with a 199. The Cody butt kissing is getting old from WWE. Bro, he is their WWE champion, their biggest merch seller, and their biggest ticket mover, man. You can't stop the Cody train of momentum. You can't. Andrew Cool with a 199. Punk's favor is main eventing 2 nights. Just like Cody. Are we going to take one triple threat match to make the other one a triple threat match? No. No, I think that's overkill. That is overkill. Hardy Punk heals Cena with 2 months. 2 long weeks. After Brussels, I'm back at Raw for round 3. Mike's ready. Get under each other's skins. And then final stop in Europe culminates in the final boss. Now, I don't think The Rock is on this international tour. I think The Rock, if he shows up, will be in one of the major markets. Back here in the States. Rage with a $20 super chat. What about Randy Orton, RKO, Cody Rhodes, and cost him the WWE title against John Cena? I don't know. I'm just thinking out of the box. Nah. I genuinely don't know what they got planned for the main event, man. I couldn't even begin to predict what they're doing. I just hope Cena walks out as the champion. I just can't see Cena losing. Unless Randy's going to get involved to help Cody. And then it leads to Randy versus Cena at Backlash. Lauren with a 2. Orton versus Cody at SummerSlam. Also want Cena and Orton. Hardy Punk heals Cena with a $2 super chat. First Hall of Fame match, Austin, Hart, equals Cena, Cody, double turn. No. Now, Cody's not turning heel. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. New announcer was a boxing announcer, I believe. He sounds great. Mark Nash was excellent tonight. The final boss with a $4.99. Why do I think the cliffhanger of night 1 is Punk revealing the favor after he wins the 3-way is that he's added to Cena Cody. Only thing big enough. Yeah, but why would he be added and how would he be added? Why would Cena and Cody even allow that? That doesn't even make sense. Damon Crossan with a $5 super chat coming to us from New Zealand. What's up, brother? I don't see Sidro. We need at least one joke for the night. What does a glory hole and police hotlines have in common? Anonymous tips. Yeah, I'm sorry, Damon. I'm sorry, Damon. The OTS venue, thumbs down on the joke, bro. Thumbs down on the joke. Rock TV 14 with a 199. Keep up the great work, JD. 9 years I've been subbed. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Baby Huey with a 499. Tiffany's not a main eventer. She would have been perfect to hold one of the mid-card titles. As hated as Nia is, she had a better run than Tiffany. Bro, Nia's run was awful. I don't know if there's genuinely a real human being that enjoyed Nia Jax's world title run. Damon with a 5. Did anyone else notice Heyman's mouth? Let me reread this. Did anyone notice Heyman mouth the word "don't" to Punk when Reigns told Punk to thank him? I did not see that. I did not see that. Craig with a 23-month. CM Punk deserves the WrestleMania main event. Just another slap to Tony Khan and the AEW elites who tried to ruin him. Simply the best in the world. I enjoy when they get angry. That whole fucking fan base cannot take a single ounce of criticism. Best in the world, Matt, with a $10 super chat. Exactly, JD. The winner of the Royal Rumble always got a WWE title match at WrestleMania. That was the stipulation. I don't recall in any of the old Royal Rumbles that the main event was guaranteed. Yeah, people just want to bitch and complain because it's right for the women. You know, the less you worry about the women getting one night and the men getting one night, the more you'll understand why the WrestleMania main events end up the way that they do. The only reason why the women main evented WrestleMania was because of two reasons. One, Ronda Rousey, and the other one was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, and those were two of the most influential black women wrestlers in company history. That was it. That's why those two women's matches main evented WrestleMania and everything else hasn't. Romulus, $10 super chat. Showing love to my OTS family and to you, JD. Had a pretty shitty day today at work. I was in a crap mood all day, but I'm happy to be among my family. Thanks for making my mood better. Well, thank you for being here, brother. You guys have made my mood better. Month of March has been terrible. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, man. I really do. Jay Richards with a $4.99. Enjoy the work, JD. Up-and-coming independent wrestler here in Texas. Hope for the opportunity to work for House of Glory when they come to Texas this summer. Keep me updated on your progress, brother. Happy to hear that. Sinister with a new membership. Sinister, thank you, brother. I thought you were a member already. I guess not. Love Girl 788 with a $10 super chat. I see 3 AEW wrestlers winning championships. Ricky, Penta, and Ray. Absolutely. And Blue Jay with a $2 super chat. So Royal Rumble no longer means main event. Crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Simulated virtual wrestling with a $4.99. Interesting theory. What if the favor is for a match versus Reigns' career for Wiseman? I'm out of ideas. Also, fun fact, Rollins' attire always matches his Tron. I have noticed that, yes. Reigns' career is not going to be on the line, no. Now, it will more than likely be for the services of Paul Heyman. Guys, thank you for a great stream. Next Friday, we'll be back to normal, man. Next Friday, we'll be in Chicago for Friday Night SmackDown. Appreciate you guys very much for hanging out with me tonight. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Sinister, 18 months. Why does it say new membership? YouTube better get their shit together, bro. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the great content on the channel. BearMattress.com/JD from NY. Use that code JD from NY at checkout. 40% off, 2 free pillows, courtesy of the podcast. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, man. Let's try for 1,000 likes as always, right here on Off the Script. I will see you back if there's news this weekend. If not, I'll see you back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.